Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we're just going to have a little chat about what we would like to see out of Warhammer Fest. Now, I'm going to try and steer away from masses of speculation. This is primarily in a perfect world, what would be the result of this weekend? If you got exactly what you're after, what would we see? Because there's been a lot of speculation about stuff that might happen or might not happen, or stuff that is possible but maybe might not be possible. A lot of it centered around that rumor engine image that we talked about yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And there's been some interesting theories floating around, most of which I don't really agree with, and think that maybe there's just a touch of wish list about it. I have to admit that my actual what I'd like to see is no less wish listy than anything else, to be perfectly honest, because there are only really two major things that I want out of Warhammer Fest, and I suspect that we're not going to see either, which would be disappointing. But the first is there is, a new releases segment over the weekend. Well, there's a couple, and something that I'd love to see in terms of new releases would be Orcs related. I think so far the Xenos stuff has been completely passed over in terms of new models and stuff. That's hardly controversial or even slightly inaccurate, in fact, because there's been fuck all. Xenos has got nothing really. We've had massive releases for Death Guard, we've had massive releases for Primaris, we've had a massive Custodes release, we've had the Daughters of Cain for Age of Sigmar, and we've had the Ideneth Deepkin, and in 40k we've had a new Cryptek, and I literally cannot remember anything else. I can't remember I actually can't remember any other model releases outside of the Triumvirate stuff, the Inari stuff at the start of 8th, end of 7th, start of 8th, whenever those came out. When it comes to the new codexes replacing the indexes, there's just been naff all. There's been nothing, and I really want to see that rectified. I'd really like some sort of big reveal at Warhammer Fest that is actually seeing specifically the Orcs get a proper overhaul, because I know Eldar are in a pretty bad place as well. Eldar are not doing great in terms of the models they have available and how many of those are up to date. And by up to date, I mean, sculpts that aren't a decade old and sculpts that aren't still in garbage resin. Eldar are not looking great for that right now. Orcs are just as bad. There are models in the Orc range that absolutely should not be being sold. There are models in the Orc range that don't even fit aesthetically with the rest of the Orc range. Like the War Track and the War Buggy are so goddamn old that the Orcs in them don't look like the Orcs that you can get from any other kit. They're literally a different design. It bugs the shit out of me because I love Orcs. What I'd really like to see from Warhammer Fest would be a proper redo of the Orc range. If we got something crazy like Ghazghkull in prime Orc form, that would be cool. I would be behind that. Ghazghkull is he's a legendary figure in Warhammer 40k, and like a lot of legendary figures that aren't bloody Space Marines, he's been sitting there with his metal model. I think it's still metal, might be resin now, but regardless, the thing is ancient. I was using that model when I had an Orc army in fucking 3rd edition, so we're on 8th now. Where the hell is Ghazghkull? What has happened? It's just had nothing done to him, nothing given to him. The Orcs as a whole, yes, they've had some cool new releases. I say new, again, that's relatively speaking, but the range as a whole desperately needs an update. I would love to see that from this weekend. I would genuinely love to see them go, okay, to finish off the Codex release stuff for 8th edition, the final index will be Orcs, but you're also getting all these new models. You're getting a new Ghazghkull, you're getting new Scar Boys, you're getting all of this shit. New War Book, new War Track, we're updating everything. That would be class. That would be really, really good. I don't know if it's particularly likely. I suspect it probably isn't. I think what we'll actually see from Warhammer Fest will be the new Knight stuff. I don't know if we're likely to see a Primarch. To be honest, I kind of suspect not. Just because there's not been that much spoken about it. There's not really been anything in the way of leaks or rumours that I've come across anyway that would suggest that that's happening. And generally speaking, Games Workshop tends to... I mean, they're about as good at holding in leaks as a sieve. So either that's because nothing's happening in that regard, or they're actually managing to keep it under wraps, which would be impressive. So yeah, I suspect we'll see Imperial Knight stuff, not least because there's also like how to paint an Imperial Knight over the weekend, and of course we have the Armigers, we have the Castellan that we know about, so that seems very likely. Harlequins releases would be nice. Be nice to see Harlequins get a bit extra, maybe an Ari as well. Whether that's likely or not, I don't know. We might see some preview stuff over the weekend for Harlequins, because I believe they're the next codex up for release, unless it's Imperial Knights, whichever one it is. But yeah, my big wish is Orcs, but I don't think we're going to see it, which I know that sounds weird, but this is what do we want to see, not what do we think we're going to see. So I'm putting it up there as something that I want to see. The other thing is actually Forge World related, and that is because Forge World, to me, are in a weird position right now. They're not... I don't know how to phrase this correctly. They're not doing great, to me, Forge World. They've had that weird quality issue not that long ago, where the Space Wolf Terminators were like... They were off. The sculpts were not good. They were in fact kind of crappy. They didn't look very good. The fur on their cloaks was straggly and badly done. Just the overall quality of those models were not what I would expect from Forge World, especially given the premium price that Forge World slaps on everything. Combine that with that weird thing they had where it looked like the sights for the guns had been put on the underside of the gun instead of on top, and then when questioned they said, it's a laser pointer. It looked like the standard iron sight upside down, but sure, whatever you say. Between that and the sudden just shift over of a load of the upgrade packs for the Horus Heresy moved over to Last Chance to Buy, my confidence in Forge World is genuinely at a bit of an all-time low right now. They're making decisions that adversely affect customers in a big way, to do with a specialist game that they are the main source of parts and models for. The quality of some of their sculpts recently has been definitely below par, way below anything that Games Workshop is producing, and Forge World, you pay extra for that shit. If you pay extra for it, it should be better, not worse. And some of their stuff has unquestionably been worse. I really hope that we see, when it comes to their new releases and their specialist games and stuff, I firstly want to see what it is that is causing them to have to shift so much Horus Heresy stuff, that, you know, to clear so much inventory. It better be a lot of really high quality specialist games, or at least a couple of games with a hell of a lot of support, because there needs to be an explanation for that. What I'd actually want more than anything though is communication. I mean, this is the perfect platform for this. This is the time to talk to your customer base. This is the time to tell your consumers, hey, this is why we are doing what we're doing. This is what we're doing it for. This is what you're getting instead of these products. If you have any questions, we will answer them. We've talked about the Horus Heresy stuff going Last Chance to Buy before, but I will reiterate, the Horus Heresy is Forge World's domain. It is Forge World's thing. They are the primary suppliers for that stuff. Just getting rid of that much stuff without warning and without explanation is not acceptable. You cannot do that when you are the type of supplier that Forge World is. You know, you kind of rely on people paying your hefty prices for a premium product. If you're just going to tell those people nothing and then ditch half the stuff they're buying off you, you're kind of going to land yourself in trouble. This is the time to explain why that happened. So I would really like to see some sort of explanation for it. Whether we will or not, again, who knows? I suspect that there won't be that much detail gone into, but I would hope that people would ask the question of them and that we get a reasonable response. Because, yeah, the Forge World they're not filling me with confidence right now, and that's not good. I don't really think there's that much else. No. I really want to know a bit more about the end of the Horus Heresy series, because something that I've been thinking about a lot is the Horus Heresy series has gone on for ages now. We're talking about the Black Library novels, not the game. It's been going on for ages, and it's been pretty consistently of a decent quality. Now we're drawing into the end part of it. We're drawing into the Siege of Terror. We're actually coming to the end of that particular storyline. It's been going for so long, I'm genuinely struggling to think of a time where we're not getting new Horus Heresy books. What I'd really like to know is if they have any plans for future series, future releases, future sagas, maybe in the 40k timeline. I really want to know where they're going to go after the Horus Heresy is concluded. Because I think as a group effort, the Horus Heresy is genuinely astonishingly good, and it would be a shame if that kind of collaborative writing process just stopped because that particular story had been told. I'd really like to see those authors continue to work on ongoing series, with each other together the way they have. So I would really like to know what the plans are after that is done. I think, to be honest, that's about it. I can't really think of anything else I'd really like to see out of Warhammer Fest. As I say, some of it is most likely not going to happen, but as I said before, this is what do we want to see, not what do we expect to see. I've already said what I kind of expect us to see, but it's not the same as what I want, which is a shame, really. But, there you go. Life's full of disappointments, isn't it? Let me know what you would like to see from this weekend, if there's anything specific you're looking forward to, if there's anything you think might actually make the cut, anything that you're expecting Games Workshop to announce. Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to click either of the videos, the Patreon, subscribe, all of that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to, and I will see you for the next one. Toodaloo.